Hello, hello. We're here for our midweek alchemy message where we're taking a look at this week's spiritual lessons and our approach to how we're unpacking the actual work. So we're gonna look at the cards real quick. I'll let you listen to the audio and then we will unpack. So from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, we've got the Sun, followed by the androgyne, followed by mortification. Underneath the Sun, we have Two of Cups. Underneath androgyne, we have androgyne, we have Seven of Pentacles. And underneath mortification, we have Judgment. All right, let's listen to the audio real quick and we'll be right back. Take heart at knowing that things really are coming together. The work of transformation is in progress. The fruit is already here. We are only focused on the one realm where manifestation has yet to occur, in the physical. The ultimate wholeness of you already exists. The full potential of you exists and is real. The problem is that our consciousness is obsessed with the only thing that is lacking, the material evidence. We do not judge a seed that is not in its fruition. We understand there's a process. We understand there are variables at play. We do not take it personally if the sproutling has not borne fruit. We do not expect a wine to taste good unless it has had time to mature. Trust that a rebirth and a resurrection are taking place. Be at peace and enjoy the process. We cannot know fulfillment from a state of inner turmoil. Trust, surrender, and persevere in optimism. These 3 weeks of Mercury Retrograde in Cancer are allowing what is dead and decaying to be pruned, pulled up and out, and regenerated as nutrients for what is soon to be. Out and regenerated as nutrients for what is soon to be. All right, so we have the Sun card here paired with the Two of Cups. And so we're right in the middle of these 3 weeks that happen every year during the Cancer season, Mercury retrograde, summer retrograde. And it usually straddles the smack dab in the middle of Cancer season and then goes into a little bit of Leo. And so this time of year takes us through a particular initiation portal that puts us through a pressure cooker, puts us through this harsh direct light, but it exposes all the things that are causing death, decay, destruction, stagnancy, things that need to be pruned, right? If you're a gardener, this time of year, you're kind of cleaning out the first wave of things that you've planted and taking out, dead things and making space for, air and airflow and, minding, that kind of death and decay that's starting to happen. Right now, I have a garden box of mushrooms that are starting to bloom, and mushrooms take what is dead and decayed and it regenerates. Right? So there's this really underlying theme of that in this reading. But right now, that's kind of what's going on through this Mercury Cancer season. But also at the same time, we are in the most fertile, vital, all this peak of sunshine, right? But it's just that just when you're out, say on the lake or, out in the sun all day and you're in the bright exposed sun, you kind of need a little bit of protection. You don't want to be in the middle of that direct force too long because it'll burn you up or in too intense of a direct way. And so right now, yes, the light is kind of very direct and very intense. So it's good to take some kind of shelter, but in a sense, that shelter is the connection with the Creator, helping us to stay strong, to restrict our impulse to want to emotionally react during this time. The key is to feel ourselves start to reflex and then pause and like replay the tape in your head about what was about to play out, right? What was your impulsive reaction? Can you pause yourself and then explore this to maybe dismantle that programming so that you can choose with conscious intention? And we've been talking about also, like, we're going to be observing our emotions during this time, and we're not going to necessarily look at them in a way that's saying that they're factual, but they are giving us like the information that we need to draw from to assess and explore what needs to be done. And so I have suggested that don't necessarily like take the action to confront the situation yet during these 3 weeks. Let the dust settle and but take notes. Tune into guidance you're getting during this time. Keep up with like synchronicities that you're seeing and messages that you're getting, and give yourself time to like cool off, right? I just keep being so attracted to these cooling sort of colors and like mint and things like that this time of year. Water things that kind of cool things down, right? So, but at the same time though, under the surface, not in the in the material world, yes, we're baking under the sun right now, the direct heat, just like the foliage and the grass and everything at the park that I go to. There's like a track where you can walk around this old runway, this old airport runway, and it is just fried. It looks like toast right now, right? But there's also been a lot of rain. It's just that the light is so intense, the light is so direct, it's just like frying everything up. So we need to kind of like find a balance in this moment and use this sense of vitality and sun that's going to energize and illuminate things for us, right? And just hold on to the optimism and the perspective that things really are coming together, that yes, maybe this does feel like a very intense moment, but it is that heat and pressure that make diamonds that cause a chemical reaction to start. It's a catalyst, and it's like you need that heat and those conditions to do certain natural processes. The same is true for our spiritual processes. So don't be alarmed. Don't let your heart be discouraged, right? The Two of Cups here is like emotional growth. Things are coming together, right? Strengthening bonds, meeting like-minded individuals and people in alignment with you. So hold on to your optimism, stay on the end of the, lightness, right? Lighten up and try to have fun and try not to have like a war going on within yourself because there's so much emotional turmoil and we're all so sensitive right now. Just try to like laugh at yourself a little bit. Oh, I'm in the soap opera again, but the key is to escape the soap opera, right? It's like the Truman Show. It's like we keep getting lost in this hypnotism where we forget we're in the show. And the key to the game is to remember you're in the show and escape the set, right? And the only way we can do that is to take a step back from the plot and observe it and observe our place within it and the motivations coming up from our subconscious and how we're going to choose to play out the scene instead. Right? In life, we have an initial first draft of a script, and that's really what we're reading in our natal chart, right? But your spiritual work merits your opportunity to rise above that first draft. It allows you to, do rewrites, right? So this is nice reassurance here. The Azragine card is talking about those chemical components coming together and producing results in the lab. The divine masculine and feminine coming together in balance, the internal experience finally taking root in the embodiment of wisdom and understanding, and then the ability to practice the restriction to have our being and move and take action in accordance with integrity with that consciousness. Right? So just trusting that it's a process. And if you are so obsessed with results, then as a gardener, you wouldn't even enjoy. You would just be like, oh, when is this going to happen? I'm ready for my harvest. I've got to get it to market. But if you're a gardener because you love being in the state of gardening, every phase can be fulfilling because it offers something new. It offers its own gifts. And so we don't judge the final fruit by the seed. We know that there's going to be a process. We know that a plant has to form and a flower, and something has to come from that flower, and it's going to be sour and bitter at first until it comes into its fullness, right? And so it's all about having patience, finding stillness on the inside, because if we are obsessed with getting to the next phase, then we're trying to rush through our journey and we're skipping over valuable lessons that we need to learn that we're going to end up having to circle back to. So enjoying every stage of the process, embracing the journey, facing the tests as they come, trying to realize that some things come back around because you kind of like had a short circuit, in a similar situation before. And maybe this is the universe bringing you an opportunity to take that test again and recapture those those sparks of light that were lost, or what some people would describe as like fragments of the soul that get lost and left in places that you've had, galvanizing heartache or disappointment or some kind of traumatizing psychic event that sort of like split you, into pieces. So we're going through a process, and we can't judge anything by the process. That's why it's better not to judge, right? So we surrender, we enjoy, eat what each day brings, and we allow the death and decay, the mortification here, to be part of the transformation process that's going to yield more nutrients to feed each generation of seeds that you're planting, right? You plant a seed, you get a fruit, and then you keep some of the seeds from that fruit, because then that seed has what it takes to thrive in that soil. And then you plant your own seeds again and again, and you develop and refine, the fruit you're bearing. The judgment card is not about judgment. It's about renewal. It's about resurrection of the dead. In the traditional tarot, the imagery depicts the angel that's blowing like the trumpet of like the Armageddon or whatever, the angel of judgment's coming, and but all the people are rising up out of the grave and they're all excited. And so this is about resurrection. We've come through the wholeness of a certain level of education and process and becoming, and now it's about being reborn, a new creature from that experience, and now setting out in a new chapter, applying the embodiment of everything that we've learned. So hopefully by the time we've come here, we have better judgment, because we have wisdom and understanding that we gained through being present in our experience and choosing to allow that to cultivate us. So we're just coming through an initiative portal where we're being asked to sort of face these dragons. And each dragon is going to show up in a different form. And each dragon is going to take a different way of confronting it, right? Sometimes we have to confront the dragon. Sometimes we have to make friends with the dragon. Sometimes we have to convert or transform the dragon to, maybe make the dragon a friend and reintegrate, right? Maybe the shadow is one of the dragons, right? That we have to, repair to reintegrate into, a participating part of ourselves. Right? So sometimes it's about standing up and telling the truth. And sometimes it's about, seeing a situation differently and having grace. Sometimes it's about coming to a level of appreciation so we can let go and forgive. It just depends. Each situation has its own dragon that's going to have its own sort of set of challenges and tests for the person. It's like, the movies with the knight going through the gauntlet, and they have to duck and dodge and swing and climb and outsmart all of the obstacles that they're coming to at a moment's notice. That's kind of what the dragons are like. They're disguised in different fashions, and each one takes a different strategy to best it. Okay? All right. Well, I think that's all overall good. I think it's reassuring and encouraging, and just, warning us we're right in the middle of it. And so I think we're in the second week now. So just have patience and, hunker down, get under some furniture, assume the position, assume the emergency position, put on some protective headgear, and we'll be through it soon. Just kidding. Don't do that. Get out there and face your dragons. Peace.